everyone, welcome back to Cuddy's Bookshelf. So it is time for my January reading wrap up. So I haven't read too much this month because, well, I have technically, because it is like chunkier books, but I normally get through quite a lot of books each month. But this month I really wanted to just finish the books that I wanted to finish last year that I didn't get to. I wanted to just read some easier reads and some that I've been really excited for, and then also start reading a series when a new book's coming out. If you know, you'll see when I get to it. So the first two that I read was, I did finish the Poppy War trilogy. So I did read The Dragon Republic and The Burning God. And I really enjoyed this trilogy. It was so good, so brutal. I did put the Poppy War in my favourite books of 2024. So if you want to know more about the series, like, pop over to that video, because, you know, I can't really say much about these two, but they are really brutal. I love following Rin's story. Absolutely incredible. And the ending, I was shocked. I was shocked. I have no words for it. I was shocked. Like, oh my goodness, all of that. At the ending, like, oh yeah. Did make me like well up a bit, because, you know, how much, like, I could try not to do spoilers, honestly. It kills me. But you go through so much with her. And it was really great. You'll see my bloopers of me going, no, that's a spoiler. That was a spoiler. But a little rundown. It's about Rin, who is at the time living in a house with family, but they don't really treat her that right. So she works her arse off to get into this fight school, and when she gets there, she is the odd one out. She is not from a well-to-do family, and she sticks out by the colour of her skin. She is darker than everybody else. And it goes through, the first book goes through her training in this war college, and then it's sort of halfway through the book, it goes into the war side of things, and then these follow on from that. And the series does get more and more intense and brutal. I have no other words for it. It hurts your heart a little bit. So yeah, I did really enjoy these. And then following those, I wanted to read something a little bit lighter, so I went to my romances and I read the entirety of the Gold Rush Ranch series, and I really enjoyed these. These are by Elsie Silver, who also did the Chestnut Spring series, and these are again like cowboy romances. Just what I needed after like a really heavy fantasy trilogy, and like the lighter, I needed something more lighter, and these did it for me. I really enjoyed this series so much. And this one, I wasn't so this is the last one, Full Start, and this one follows Griffin and Nadia, and there is quite an age gap. And at first I couldn't really get my head around it, but no, the ending to this, I think it's one of the most romantic things I have ever read. And that really like boosted the book up for me. I thoroughly enjoyed it. But like I say, age is just a number. But, you know, it gets to a stage where you're like, how many years? You know. But loved them. These covers aren't actually the proper covers. They look like this. So if you are wanting to buy them, this is what they actually look like. These covers I actually got off of TikTok, and they all come with a little bookmark as well. And they are from the Cozy Character Company. And I bought the Chestnut Spring series in them, and they look really nice on the shelf. And then I realised that they did these ones as well, and there was only £20 for all of them, and I thought that was really good. But yeah, each of them, so this is what the cover looks like, and then you get like the character and then just the company on the back flap. You get a quote from the book on each of them, and like I say, each of them comes with their own bookmark. Obviously they're not like super fancy, but I just thought that they looked really nice. And this one's the same. This one's Cole and Violet story. So, and you get the matching bookmark. I just thought that was really nice. And then front runner. This one's Stefan and Myra's story. And this is what the bookmark looks like in that one. And then we have False Start and the bookmark. This is Griffin and Nadia's story. So, but yeah, absolutely love these romances. If you do like your this series that has continuation of characters, so you are introduced to each of the characters in the books. So yeah, really love those. Then I read a thriller, and it is Forget Me Not by MJ Aldridge. And I loved this. This is another one of the D.I. Helen Grace books. So this is the newest one. I am so glad that I have caught up, but also really sad that I've caught up. And the ending to this one, oh my goodness. So the ending to the plot of the book was shocking enough, but then because you get so attached to these characters, they are Mobley Grey characters, and so because you're so attached, you had a little thing that happens at the end and it leaves you on the cliffhanger of what are they going to decide. I can't wait for the next one. I need the next book. If you like your crime thrillery books, this series is just the best. It is literally the best crime series, thriller series that I have ever read, and I was rooting for Helen to find these girls. So in this one, D.I. Helen Grace has a report that a girl is missing. A mother comes into the station, and the police officer at the time is like, she's only been missing for a certain amount of time and there's not much we can do, because the station is really busy at the minute with a gang war that's going off in the city. So they're primarily like focused on that. Like all of her superiors are wanting them to solve all of the gang crimes first. But Helen takes it upon herself, much to the, not listening to what the uppers are telling her to do. She takes it upon herself to try and find this girl, and in doing so she unravels a lot of girls have gone missing that are on the streets, and it's her chasing down and trying to find these girls. And oh, it's so intense, so gripping. I loved it. You know how much I love this author. Like, I can't get enough. I cannot get enough. I am so glad that I have a few books left that I need to read. I have wrapped one up on my cart that is by the MJ Aldridge, and I'm looking forward to that one. But I've also got the new ones that he's bringing out with a co-author. I've got those all pre-ordered as well, so I'm looking forward to reading some of those. I've got some on my shelf that I can get to, which I think I'm going to go and read very soon, depending on what I unwrap next month. But I loved this, absolutely loved it. And then the last book that I am actually currently reading is Fourth Wing. So I have read this before twice. This is my third time. I am doing what I said. I did do a whole vlog of me reading when I reread Fourth Wing and then read Iron Flame for the first time. So that is on my channel somewhere. And I am doing what I said I would do. So the first time I read Fourth Wing, I just read it in its entirety. The second time that I read it, I did tab my favourite parts, so you see. And now the third time that I am reading it, I am highlighting and actually annotating through the book. So it is taking me a while to get to, because when I'm at work, if I have time at all to read when I'm at work, it's harder to, you know, whip my pens out. And whereas normally if you're just reading a book, you can, you know, it's just a book. You're not having to try and write, and it takes a lot more longer if you annotate a book. But I am enjoying my reread of this book, and obviously it's 5 stars. I don't need to finish it to know that it's going to be 5 stars. And yeah, I'm hoping to get this done by the end of the month, and then go into Iron Flame, and then eventually read Onyx Storm. And then what I'm going to do with Iron Flame is do the tab-in, and then read Onyx Storm in its entirety without doing anything with the book. So yeah, I am enjoying my reread. Obviously this follows Violet. She is sort of forced into the Riders Quadrant by her mother, but to get into this war school, Basgiath War College, she has to go through some trials and then try and bond with a dragon. It has got romance in it. It has obviously a lot of action, trials, working as a team, trying to battle enemies. Violet also has a disability, but she's trying to get through this college without people knowing she has a weakness. It's a great fantasy series. If you haven't read it, I highly recommend that you do. Everybody loves Fourth Wing when they read it. So yeah, and it's a great fantasy if you have never really been into fantasy. It's a great fantasy to read. I'm loving it. So yeah. And that was all my books. That's all I've read this month. I don't think I've ever read this little on my channel, but it has been nice trying to get home life and work life and everything settled before I start giving myself a fixed TBR. But that will be coming next month. It will be coming very soon to my channel. And yeah, so let me know what you've been reading at the start of the year. I hope that you've been getting some 5-star reads in. I hope that you are healthy and well, and that your beginning of year has gone off really well. And I hope that you've enjoyed this reading wrap up. If you did, please give it a thumbs up. If you would like to see more from me, please subscribe, and I hope to see you in my next video. Bye! So not to do a complete jump scare, but I am currently editing, and this will be going up today. So this is the state that I'm in today. I've been from a morning walk with the family, but I just wanted to say that I did read more books than I filmed, and I was thinking, I'm sure I read more books than that. And I did read a non-fiction, which was Sherry Frankie's story. It was The House of My Mother. I read that one. It's about a girl who, her family, I think it was 8 passengers, was popular family on YouTube, and it turned out that her mother was quite abusive. Things did like come out online about it. So I just wanted to see the point of view of, you know, families that do vlogging as families, and the other side of things that you don't see on the camera. And it was a really gripping story. I really liked the fact that it was her story. It wasn't her sibling's story, and she didn't really mention much about what happened to them in detail. It was everything that happened to her, and like she said, it is up to her siblings to tell their own story. Really gripping. I enjoyed reading the book, and I also read on my Kindle. So with the Sherry Frankie, I have the physical copy, but I went to put it on the top and it slid down the side of here, and I can't get it out. So yeah, note to self, don't put thin books on the end of your bookshelves because they will slide down. But I also read The Words by A. Jade, and I did enjoy this. It's quite a darker story, and it's about a lad who is known as, it starts off with them in school, and then it has like a bit of a time jump. And in school, he is like the popular, dark, mysterious lad that's into music, and the girl is more of a quiet type who gets bullied a lot. She is the perfect person that people want to bully. She is bigger than other girls that are in the school, and people take advantage of that. But the teacher asks her to take on a student who needs help with their grades, otherwise they are not going to pass that year and will have to retake the year. So she agrees to it, and then realizes it is Phoenix, who is the dark and mysterious lad who she has had a crush on for ages. Her dad is a songwriter, so they do have music in common when they first meet up, and she finds the reason why his grades are failing a little bit, but I don't want to do any spoilers because I went into this quite blind. And they get closer. He does something that makes her think a girl like her could get a guy like him, but then completely breaks her heart, and then it goes into the future and the repercussions of what he did and the universe bringing them back together. And yeah, it was really, really good. I did enjoy this, but because it was on my Kindle, and when I read my books physically, I put them to one side and I'm like, right, that's for my reading wrap up. Yeah, I completely missed talking about it. So yeah, I read this one on the Kindle. It wasn't a physical read, as in, you know what I mean, not a physical book. It was an ebook. And my Sherry Frankie one is down the side of here, but it is Sherry Frankie, the house of my mother. A gripping story. But yeah, I did read those two also, and I was editing it and I was thinking, should I just leave it out and add it into next month's? But then I was like, no, because I really want it to be in this month's and not, you know, why it's fresh and everything. But yeah, just thought I'd add that in there. Sorry for the, you know, shock of my face. But yeah, I'm just having a cozy day after going for a family walk this morning, and now I'm editing and hopefully getting this one up today. So hello, hope you're having a lovely Sunday, and thank you for watching this video. But yeah, anyway, I'm going, bye. Deny the thing, no, oh no, because that's a spoiler. Yeah. So shortly, and then I did read an entire series, which is the Gold Rush Ranch series, Gold Rush Ranch series, and they're from the Cozy character. Sorry, did I say Nadia in that one and I meant Mina? Myra? No, I did. I have wrapped one up on my cart. Can I say that? Because will this go? Yeah, because that will go up afterwards. So, and then, why have I gone so low? There we go. I don't think I've ever read this small of a amount. That don't make sense. That didn't make no sense at all. That outro. Don't know what I'm doing with myself. Don't know what I just said in that whole video.